You can't depend on no wind. You can't depend on intelligence. You can't depend on God. You can depend on only one thing, baby. You need a busload of faith to get by. 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 You can depend on the worst always happening. You can depend on a murderer's drive. And if he rapes somebody, you know he'll have no problem having a child. And then if she tries to abort it, pro-lifers will attack her with rape. You can depend on the worst always happening. You need a busload of faith to get by. 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 You can't depend on the goodly-hearted gave you lampshades and soap. You can't depend on no sacrament, no Father, no Holy Ghost. But you can depend on cruelty and crudity of thought and of sound. You can depend on the worst always happening, babe. Need a busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. You can't depend on no miracle. You can't depend on the air. You can't depend on any wise men. You know why you can't find them? Because they're not there. Or you can depend on cruelty and crudity of thought and of sound. You can depend on the worst always happening. You need a busload of faith to get by. 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 A busload of faith to get by. They say he didn't have an enemy. His was a greatness to behold. He was the last surviving progeny, the last one on this side of the world. Measured half a mile from tip to tail, silver and black with powerful fins. They say he could break a mountain in two. That's how we got the Grand Canyon. Let's great American whale. Let's great American whale. Let's great American whale. Let's great American whale. Off the Carolinas, the lighthouse glows ghostly in the day. The light shines ghostly there at night. The chief of a local tribe had killed the racist mayor's son. Been on death row since 1958. The mayor's kid was a rowdy pig. Spit on Indians and lots worse. The old thief put a hatchet in his head. Life compared to death for him seemed worse. The tribal brothers gathered in a lighthouse to sing. Try to conjure up a little storm with some rain. The harbor parted the way a great whale sprang straight up, causing a huge tidal wave. They flushed the jail and freed the chief. The tribe let out a roar. Kept a bazooka in his living room. And thinking he had the old chief in his sights, blew the great whale's brains out with a lead harpoon. That's great American whale. That's great American whale. That's great American whale. That's great American whale. Americans don't care too much for anything. Land and water are the least. And animal life is low on the totem pole. Human life's not worth much more than infected yeast. Americans don't care too much for beauty. They'll shit in a river, dump battery acid in a stream. They'll watch dead rats wash up on their beaches covered with oil. Then they'll complain they can't swim. They say that things that are done for the majority. Don't believe half of what you see, none of what you hear. It's like what my friend Donald said to me. Stick a fork in their ass, turn them over, they're done.